What's up, YouTube? Welcome to today's video. I want to discuss how this one thing that you can transform in your life will in fact dramatically change your results with women. And no, it's not bigger biceps or having a nicer car or making more money. Those things all do help, but they are not as important as this one thing. So stick with me till the end, because at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a gift that's going to help you to transform yourself into being a man that does attract more of what he wants in life. So without further delay, let's get right into it. The one thing you must master in regards to women is strength. And yes, that does mean physical, but it also means mental, spiritual, emotional, every aspect of strength, okay? Women are wired to test for strength. So what you have to understand is, and a lot of guys don't get this, is that they think the most important part of strength is looking strong. And that is true to some extent, right? Like if a woman is drawn to you, she's most of the time at first going to be attracted to you because of how you look. That's just a non-starter. If you're not attracted to somebody, you're not going to be into them. That's true for men and women. And one of the biggest predictors of women's attraction to men is strength. It's shoulder to waist ratio. It's, jawline. It's these predictors of male strength from testosterone levels and androgen levels. And that stuff is important. But what's most important is that you have those characteristics, right, of looking like a strong, capable man with emotional, mental, and spiritual strength. And the biggest hallmark of that mental, emotional, spiritual strength is your ability to not need her. Now, let me explain to you why this is the case. It's actually very simple. When you think about it, the reason that guys get really confused as to why does a woman want you more when you don't want her, that it intuitively doesn't seem to make sense. It actually is very easy to understand. It's because when you don't want a woman as much as she wants you, for example, this signals that you are a strong man, that you don't need her, that you're not dependent on her. And in the modern world, we are full of men in this world that are just completely the opposite of this. Most men today are desperately needing a woman. If you look at the data on this, on the large part, men say they need relationships more than women. And the reason this is so backwards is because really men have lost the plot about what a man's life is supposed to be about. Our lives as men for hundreds of thousands of years, we've existed as humans for about 300,000 years. Our lives revolved around purpose and direction and mission. And for a lot of that time, maybe, 95% of it, 99% of it even, our time as humans, as men, was spent in survival. We were trying to survive. We were trying to acquire resources and land and fight off neighboring tribes that were trying to take our resources and people and stuff like that, right? And so most of our existence was predicated around survival. That was our purpose in life, was to survive, reproduce, and evolve. That was what human instinct is, and it still is to a large extent today. But something's changed dramatically in that in today's world, our survival is much more comfortable. We don't have to struggle in the same way to survive that we had to before. And this creates men that get addicted to comfort a lot more, and that men lack that internal purpose. And like I talk about in most of my videos, most of the root core problems that men face today, from drug addiction to extremism, like politically, to I can name 40 different thousand things, sports betting, all these different things, okay? They all come back to one simple understanding. It's that men do not have purpose and mission in their lives anymore. And what this does is it creates a vacuum and a void in a man's life. And a lot of times what men try to do to fill that void very often is they try to do that through a relationship or through a woman. So the woman becomes the anchor in a man's life a lot of times, in a relationship, in a marriage, and so forth. Nothing turns a woman off more than this, because she's not wired to have you be like that, because you're not wired like that. Right? You're supposed to be out there building, creating, doing, creating a legacy for yourself. You're supposed to make things and build things and leave a legacy. And in the modern world, it's extremely feminine coded, meaning that men behave like women. We behave like women. We treat relationships like women. If you look at how things have always been, women are the relationship builders, meaning that if you ever get into a relationship with a woman, or you start talking to a woman, what you'll very often notice is if you just let her build the relationship, she will. She'll say all this different stuff about how she wants you to plan dates and to do all these different things and to text her good morning and all this different stuff. But what you'll notice is that women very often do not chase men like this. They don't even have interest in men like this, because what women say very often is not in line with their actual feminine instincts, right? A lot of us in the modern world, men and women, we're extremely confused about our own instincts and our own desires in life because we've been told a bunch of different stuff that's not in line with that stuff, right? And we could debate the merits of where that comes from and everything. But what you'll see most often is that women in today's world respond to the same things they've responded to for 300,000 years. Okay, they respond to strength, primarily. The man that is stronger physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually will always succeed with women. Period. Period. This is why women chase men that don't plan dates, that don't, lead relationships, that don't do these things, because what that signals to her is that you're off building your life. Men that chase their purpose are winners in life because they're going to put the most commitment and action behind that into that in life, right? So if you chase your purpose, you will win in life. Okay, very simply, because you're going to actively be putting effort into that. Everything in life is about opportunity cost. The more you pursue your purpose and mission in life, and the reason you're here, that like divine reason that you're on this earth that you know is instinctually inside of you, the more you're going to win. Period. It's just the way life works. Where you put your focus is where you get your results in life. When you put your focus into that, you win. And when you win, what happens? Women want to be with you because women chase winners. If you look at all throughout the past, right? Kings and the highest warriors and prophets and philosophers and aristocrats and these men, they had the most women. Because they weren't controlling these women wanted to be with them. King Solomon in the Bible literally had 700 wives and 300 concubines. And you would think, well, why would these women want to be married to him if they had to share him? Well, that's because we don't understand how women are wired. Women would rather be with, in that time with King Solomon, because King Solomon was the man. He was charismatic. He was deeply, deeply strong. He had the amazing lifestyle that women wanted to be a part of, right? He was a winner in the truest sense of it. So women would rather be a part of his life and with him than be with some other weaker man who didn't have the status or the resources or the strength like that, right? And so when you grasp this and you understand this, no matter what people tell you in today's world, no matter what dating coaches want to tell you, no matter what, women want to tell you about what they want, you have to understand what actually gets results, okay? The same things that get you results with women are the same things that will get you results in your career, in your opportunities, and get you respect from other men. It's strength. People desire, respect, and want to be around men of strength. Now, being strong doesn't mean you're a dickhead. Being strong means you're strong. Warriors prepare for battle in case they have to fight. They're not looking to fight. Now, some warriors, yes, but it's the same concept with martial arts, right? You learn self-defense or you learn strength. You learn how to fire a gun. You learn these things not to go out and use them. It's in case you have to use them. So the key is with strength is to be strong and know how to use it and when to use it. And that's where coming back to emotional maturity comes into place, which is emotional strength. If a woman can move you off center constantly by the things she says to you, then you're not a good bet for strength, because if you're moved by her behavior, how moved by another man's behavior of threatening her or you are you going to be, right? So she's constantly testing for strength. And the biggest way she's going to do this is through seeing if you need her. That's why instinctually women chase men that don't want them. If you simply go into a gym and you observe, women always want to be with like 2 or 3 guys. And it's always the strongest, most aesthetic, badass looking dudes who don't pay attention to them. They're not constantly talking. They might strike up a little bit of a conversation, but they're not sitting there chatting them up constantly. The guys that do that are weak beta males. They don't want to be with those guys, okay? And you'll notice they all will talk about the same guys. They all want to be with the same guys because instinct is still the same in the modern world. And when you signal that you don't need her, because you actually don't, you're not playing a game, you're not trying to text her this in a certain way of strategy, you're just centered and grounded in yourself as a man. You're going to do better with women, okay? So the real key you have to understand is this is not some strategy, some texting thing, some pickup lines or anything. This is becoming internally strong, right? And that is a process, man. That's a process. You can't be strong without a purpose in life. You can't be strong without going through hard times in life. You can't be strong without knowing why you're here for that purpose. You can't be strong without mental resiliency. You can't be strong without discipline. These are things you need to have, okay? Now, I built you a free 30-day plan to help you carry out the habits that will actually make you magnetic, attract in women, attract in opportunities to your life. This plan is not for just building muscle. This is for building muscle. It's for building mental strength, about learning who you are and defining what you want in life, okay? You can go download that now at the link in the description. It will dramatically help you. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you click subscribe now, because I'm posting videos like this every single week to help you grow as a man. So without further delay, I will see you in the next video. Go download that plan now. Get to work on building yourself.